Okay, that was very, very important to me. That was a very significant day. We saw silver outperform gold by a decent amount. Silver went to new highs, if you know what I mean. It's sort of, it's as if gold went through 2000. So silver really played catch up still. That's the first thing to take note of. The miners were green despite the markets being pretty significantly red. So miners chose to follow the metals as they've been doing for several days now. That's significant. That's also important because if what happens if the markets flush to new lows, which I think is going to happen, by the way, led by the banks and the Russell. That's what I think. In fact, that's what we'll get. I'm quite sure of it. Banks look awful. And to be honest, we tagged support just as I said we would. So I'm very happy with what's happened. And overall, the miners still look quite good. But just towards the end there, they start to follow the markets down. But, still, we closed green by sort of 1.5%. So you can't complain, a slaughter in the markets. And there we are in the best sector again. So I'm not going to complain. We'll be grateful. Now, let's go through the market. So the S&P, look at this. This is really beautiful. I said we'd tag this maybe, go up initially on the 25 basis points, which is what they did. Got that also. And then close at low of day. Is basically really, I call this one as good as you can. So look at that. Tag the descending, closed at low of day. Horrible candle. Beautiful stuff. Nasdaq tagged, even went above, closed at low of day. This is a double top for me. I mean, this is the perfect ugly candle. So down we go, maybe to test this descending. But you know what? I don't care about the Nasdaq because it's just going to be all about the Russell, the banks, and even the SPY. The Nasdaq's just going to have to follow its orders from all the others. But basically followed all the other markets closing at low of day. The Dow Jones tagged this, tagged the descending, maybe just off a little bit, closed at low of day. We're sort of 1 day away from starting to close below this support. So watch tomorrow. What'll be tomorrow, Thursday? Yeah, we've got 2 more days left for the week. Could have the worst weekly candle in a long time. And then it just gets worse and worse the lower we get. The Russell. I mean, what did I say? Maybe we tag this ascending. Nowhere near that. Just horrible stuff. Just it wants to go lower. It's just begging to be put out of its misery. We will oblige. Tomorrow we will go lower. I reckon we'll close below 170 tomorrow on the Russell. And if I just move down, I don't usually do this, but I want to take a look instantly at the banking stocks. The two, so the XLF, the sort of seniors, and the KBE, which is the regionals. Look at the XLF, right? Looks like the Russell 2000, to be honest. Look how close we are to banks and the Russell. The Russell's pretty much the same thing. Testing its all-time lows, its all-time bear market lows. 1, 2 days. If we're not there by Friday, we're there next week. What about the small and regional banks? Well, we've done that already. We've breached a long time ago. This is the small regional banks. This is where the chaos started. But we're gonna take out the low of the crisis, in 1 or 2 days. So the point is the banks look so bad. I love it. And they will take down the Russell, which will take down the Dow and the S&P, which will just drag the Nasdaq down by like throwing an anchor. So I say all of that to say the markets look horrible. I'll get to commodities because it was the one standout. Let's look at the VIX actually. At least it was green, What was it even thinking of doing below 20 for a second? But, closing the high of days. So maybe we'll see the VIX starting to go back to mid-20s. I think it belongs in the 30s. I mean, we are not out of the woods. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we start to have lots of little banks fail. And some established names could start failing. So this situation is not over. I think Powell even hinted at another rate hike. So, so far he's sticking to his guns. People were saying that was a slightly dovish stance on guidance, whatever. He raised by 25. Got to hand it to him, he had the balls to do it, and he may even do another. It's almost like he wants a recession. But whatever. Look what the market did. It got smashed. And let's look at some other assets. So interest rates, I really wouldn't know I didn't know what to expect from interest rates. I thought they'd go up. They did. Okay. But Then they got smashed again because the market started to get, this is my opinion, of course, the market started to go down in a panic and people bought bonds. Right now, that's the reactive trade. Market's going down, buy bonds, I'm scared. So I would say that's the way I would read it. That's the 1 year, the 2 year, same thing. Did we go a little higher? A little bit. But we got smashed back down again. The rates got smashed back down again. And it's a bit like the markets. We're 1 or 2 days away from testing the lows. So what happens if tomorrow we have continuation of the sort of the close today, which we probably will? We're just going to start testing the lows again. We're right back where we were. And this is after all that printing, UBS saves credit seats. We don't care. And it's good and it makes sense because there is contagion. There's so much debt. The rates are up. The system cannot take it. And they're saying they're going to insure these depositors. They can't. And maybe that's not enough either. Just saying you're going to do it then. So yeah, anyway, 5 year, look at that, smash back down again. 10 years, smash back. I'm not going to spend ages on it. You can see what's happening. Smashed. Bonds are being bought because the market's going down. I won't even look at the Europe. Why not? Smash, but market closed early, so that will end up opening much lower tomorrow. The British, same thing. And if rates go up, that will smash the markets also because it'll fail some banks. It's you're screwed. I mean, you're seeing all these like Powell's trying to thread a very thin needle. He is. It's like if the rates go up, the whole system gets frozen up and credit tightens and cracks start to form and institutions can go bankrupt. And if rates go down, to be honest, it's probably because there's a problem and everyone's buying bonds because they're scared. It's a vicious circle. So rates down towards the close because the market's about to collapse. The dollar. Now, this is the one I was really interested in. And look at that. We finally have a direction. Dollar down, despite the fear. So this for me, I'm starting, maybe a bit late, and this also helps gold. So, and I've been adding to gold, on the way up on yesterday's drop, and I'm really happy I did actually. It's, I got a bit religious again and said, no, it's time to just stick to gold. Like the moment is now. And okay, I'll get the gold. You can tell I can't wait. Dollar down. Will we bounce? Yeah, we might bounce a little bit because we've had a bit of a drop here. You can see we tried to close at support, just below support. It could continue. Maybe I should look at the FXs. Look at that, the euro up. I did say maybe 110 on the euro. Dollar yen. Yeah, I did say low, but that yesterday did surprise me that we bounced, but right back down again. Could go to 128 on the dollar yen. Pound, I did say maybe 124, go back up here. You can see it's trying. So overall, DXY down. Will it go down in a straight line? No. Is it trying to touch the old ascending line that I deleted? Maybe. Don't care. We've basically got this line in the sand here, the 101, and then right underneath that 100, because you've got to respect the big number. But otherwise, I don't know, it'll soon be time to start looking at new trend lines, I reckon. I don't think we're going to reverse the whole thing down, but let's see if we start testing 101, but big down day in the dollar. So it's not what you typically see, like rates going up, dollar going up, everything else going down. No, it's rates went down, dollar went down, market went down, everything went down except basically the VIX and gold and silver. Gold and silver being a better VIX than the VIX, in my opinion. So very interesting to see dollar finally, for me anyway, make a decisive move and sort of say, look, we're going down, because I wasn't sure. Honestly, I wasn't sure. It was a bit, the fact that it was going down when there was panic was a bit rare for me, and I needed this day just to give me more conclusiveness, let's say. But okay, we had a big drop. We may bounce a little bit, but I get the idea. Down overall. Let's look at commodities. Definitely the most important thing. I'll be honest, copper, quite impressive. Went up, tagged this like the market, so that makes sense, but didn't exactly close red like the market, so outperforming the markets. Then again, the dollar was down, so maybe that's why also. But I'm not in copper, so I don't mind. And overall, long term, very bullish copper, like all the other metals. But I don't know. I thought it'd get here. Maybe it won't now. Maybe it won't. I'll tell you what, though, a breakout and a close above this descending would make me bullish. Right now, I'm just sideways with a slight bias on the bullish side, actually, just because of today. Natural gas. It's retraced yesterday's pop, not all of it, but I bought yesterday, so I'm already in very nicely in this range. So it would have to flush two and go lower for me to start thinking about buying again. It's basically where I bought it, I think. So I'd expect gas to go much higher in a few weeks, months, but who knows? It could go lower, but the dollar's going down. Don't know. I'm not really sure why it's down 4% actually. It's but what a great buy. If anyone hasn't bought this dip here and has money on the sidelines, I think this is a pretty good buy. Oil, yeah, I thought it'd get to the 70s, 70 to 72. This little parallel tram lines I thought would be a resistance, and it was, and it gave back quite a bit, kind of followed the market. So let's see now, if the market starts to collapse tomorrow, Friday, next week, does oil follow with it? And if it does, what happens if we get to this 65 zone? Do we lose the 65 zone? And if we do, where do we go? Probably 60 for another bounce. But yeah, I think it makes sense. It's kind of what I was expecting, 70 to 72. Yeah, let's see. It probably goes down actually tomorrow, but you never know. We do have a massive war going on in the background and supply demand news every day. Overall bullish on oil, must admit, but not really trading the outright. Uranium, this one also. It's really natural gas, oil, and uranium for me. Very, very sort of very cheap, to be honest. Natural gas, I've already bought. Oil, there's a stock I'm buying, Prosper Energy. I bought it actually 1 or 2 days ago. Very nice. Got the drop there. And uranium, I don't own any uranium. I would love it to come back down here and flush this. And I must admit, seeing it down 1.5%. I don't know if there's any uranium news, probably not. But if it's following the markets, excellent, because I do think the markets are going to flush, and that would take uranium down, which would be such a blessing for me who missed this massive run and didn't get emotional and chase it. Although, to be honest, if I had chased it, I would have made a few good swings, I reckon. Okay, gold and silver. First of all, look at silver, up 2.75%, gold 1.5%. Let's look at gold first. So, kind of retraced the whole move yesterday. You know what I mean? Low of day was the same, low of day as yesterday. The high of day almost the same. Closed quite close to high of day, which is very impressive given the drop. It was a drop from a big move up. So to reverse this much is quite impressive, even though it's a Fed day. I mean, let's see tomorrow. If I think gold will keep working inversely to the markets, I think the markets will go down, so gold will go up. Do we start to test 2000? Yeah, I think we do, because it doesn't take much now. $30 in gold when we're all the way up here is absolutely nothing. How much of a move is that? Actually, sorry, I take that back. It's 1.5% is something, but it could do it. It really could do it. I think if we start to take out today's high of day, 1980-ish, what's $20 more? Yeah, and then got 1990. It's really every $10 increment. So let's see. I mean, whether we touch 2000 tomorrow or the next day, it really changes nothing. But for me, gold, look, you go up a little bit more. Again, if it's tomorrow, Friday, or next week, you're testing all-time highs. Triple top too. I don't know about you guys, but triple tops rarely fail. Like you get one top, obviously that's just one top. Double top, it can break out, it can not. That's like 50-50 if I can just make up that statistic. But triple tops, plus you've just come from a cup and handle, it really doesn't get better than that. We go up again and then do another cup and handle. I mean, it's just like guaranteed. So technically, long term, medium term, looks amazing. So let's just see what happens. And also got to watch the dollar, got to watch the markets. Don't have to watch interest rates as much, actually, finally. Get rid of one of these charts, because if the market's going down, you just know bonds are getting bought. So yeah, so now it's a bit simpler. It's just watching, basically for me, it's the S&P or the Russell, the general markets. I still watch the S&P more than the Russell, but the markets, let's say, the banking sector, so whether it's the XLF or the KBE, and then gold, miners, dollar. That's all I need. And obviously, I'm looking at all the other lines, and you can, once you're used to the numbers, you can sort of picture the chart. Also, you don't need to have 10,000 charts up there, and you don't need 5 screens either. You just need 2. One is kind of insufficient. But anyway, gold looks good. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Silver, look at the difference. Gold nowhere near that high of Monday. Nowhere near, not that far away. Look at this. We've cleared new highs. And this is what I wanted. I wanted this and the miners to do the same thing. And to be honest, they were up too. So I want silver to start to be up here around 24. And I think it deserves to be here when gold's at 2000 at least. And today was really good advance in that direction. So I really think silver will continue tomorrow, even tonight, early in the morning, just keep going. I want to see 23.5. I want to see 24. How far away is 24 from where we are now? Really, 5%. Yeah, you can do that. You could just about, we need one nice day tomorrow. But, by Friday, I think we could do it, at least test 24. Obviously, we're not going to go straight through here, but, well, actually, if gold starts to take out 2000 and run, then you kind of got no choice. Silver will just get bought up like a maniac. So silver looks great. Gold looks good. The miners, start with GDX. Look at that, reversed yesterday. Tag that supports the resistance perfectly. Did give back a bit, and that's because of the markets. I did say we started to follow the markets a bit. It's really 50-50, but still, we closed up 2% on the GDX. We closed up 3% with GDXJ. Look at that, we pierced new highs. I didn't even know that. We made sort of, and you know what I mean by new highs. We went higher than the last couple of days on the GDXJ. So you can tell we're ready. We have the energy. We just need the excuse to go. And if gold starts to move up tomorrow, the dollar going down, for example, the market's collapsing, everyone's starting to buy gold and panic buy silver. Yeah, you could run. So I'm still very, very bullish. I'm happy I chased the miners, even though yesterday I said I thought it was a bit of a rookie mistake. I did also say I know I did it. And to be honest, I've made my bed. Like, I'm in the miners. I believe in gold and silver. I always have. It's just now things have sort of escalated and it's just more certain. It's whether it's rates going up or rates going down because people are buying bonds because everything's crashing. For me, either way, gold goes up. And if it doesn't, it will just drop for a few days or weeks and then go up. And the miners, I think, have decided to follow gold rather than the market low. And you know what? If they do start to follow the markets lower, they'll go down 2, 3, 4%, whilst the market's going down 5, 6, 7, 8. So relatively speaking, you're outperforming. And to me, the objective for me long term is ultimately to obviously make a lot of money, sell my miners as close to the top as possible, and then buy stocks that have been destroyed. So whilst I'm going up with the miners, these Amazon, Google, these great stocks are getting destroyed, and that's what's happening. This divergence, like relative wealth, relative value, and so whether it's going up or down, I think we're going up, and we are going up. But even if we go down, I'm still getting richer vis-a-vis, relative to the other stocks. So yeah, that's why I'm happy having put more money in the miners recently, like a decent amount. So that's the miners. The banks I don't need to show you because I showed you the ETFs. Bitcoin, look at that. That was a bit of a surprise. So Bitcoin, when push came to shove, which way are you going to follow? You're going to be with the VIX and the gold boys or the market? And today, it's the market. It's the Nasdaq. So, but then again, yesterday and the day before, it didn't underperform. It's the jury is still out. Like, I don't know. I think we need a massive collapse day where the banks are toast. We have another bank bankrupt. What did I read? Capital One is starting to, there'll be one tomorrow or Friday or next week for sure. I reckon there'll be one. I just want a destruction day and I want to know which way Bitcoin goes. Where do your loyalties lie? Are you ultimately tied to the Nasdaq and the markets? Are you a highly speculative stock, or are you a safe haven asset? Now, I am obviously with the gold bulls more than the Bitcoin crowd. And I think the stakes are too high to start playing around with Bitcoin. But still, I'm in Hive, crypto miner, so I would make money if Bitcoin goes up. But again, it's worth like a 20th of what I've got in the miners, maybe even less. So but today I take note, it went down. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I do think the market goes lower, and Bitcoin, I have to admit, will probably go back down to 25,000, which would make sense, right? Retest breakout. I'll leave it there, but very interesting. Really enjoyed watching all the different assets move. So I hope you picked up on some of those, and let me know what you think. But very good day for me.